This is my jam. I use these every day. I use them as concealer. Well, obviously, it's a concealer. So I use it as for its regular purpose as a concealer. But I also like to use these as foundation. I'll use these when I need a little bit more coverage in areas. This is my concealer color. Not the color that I would use necessarily. Like down here, I have this. Yes. But yeah, so I like these because they're multi-use. And they come in a really wide range of colors. I like Kosas because they're pretty. Just, oh yeah, don't blend when it's wet. Let it dry down a little bit. Because if you blend while it's still super emollient, then yeah, it's just like it's just like streaking paint. It's harder to blend, and usually wiping off more than you are like than you're wiping off more coverage than you're actually blending. So, aka you're wasting products. Just let it dry down a little bit. I also like to, sometimes get a little fan. I have a little hand fan, which I could use right now because, like I said, it's hot in my apartment. But I have a little hand fan, and so sometimes I'll like dry it down. And that also will ensure, and you can see, I mean, look, she is drying down beautifully. Okay. Um, yeah, so in this, like, you can see that. And then I would just like, with a brush or whatever, just kind of like blend the edges really. And voila, you've got concealed, covered skin, very natural, but you can kind of load it up if you want to. I like my concealer, okay? I don't. I am not a big foundation girl, but I love concealer. I will use it for everything. Yeah. Like I was saying, this comes in a really, really good range. And I have actually done a whole face with nothing but revealer concealers, like a full complexion. Like I did the concealer, I did the foundation, I even contoured with a deeper color. And it was amazing. The difference between concealers and foundations is in 2021, there's really not a huge difference. I'm going to be the one to say it. There's not a big difference in 2021. If you want more coverage, then a concealer might be your best bet. I'm sorry, if you want more coverage, it depends on, do you want to cover your whole face? Foundation will be easier. If you just want to conceal an area or spot treat, obviously concealer would be better. And for something like that, I would probably go more like a thicker, like stick or like cream type vibes. But these are good because they start off really wet, but they dry down. So, revealer, concealer. I have that under my eyes. And I also put it down here for a little more coverage in my problem area. And of course, you have to set it. I used to be one of those people that I thought that you could like I thought like I believed the hype that concealers self set, and every day my concealer would be worn and torn by the time I got home, and I would be really sad about it. um, so I learned to just set it with powder. If you do like a, usually I would use, catch your words, Amber. Usually I would do like a loose powder, but as of recently, like I said, I like my coverage. I like my concealer coverage. I like anything that's going to help me not have to touch it up. I like to set and forget. So in walks Pillowy Cloud Set, which is this beautiful, oh my gosh. I've been struggling opening packages all day because half of my nails are trying to break on me. But this is Pillowy. It's the color, but it's a baking setting powder. I'm not one for big bake. I'm not a big baker unless there are baked goods accompanying the baking, you know? So I like a more easy bake. I like a more like subdued bake, would you call it? This will probably be the only place I would have used a brush today because so far everything that I did was with my hands. I did use a fluffy brush to blend my concealer, but I put my tinted moisturizer on. My tinted face oil on with my hands, and yeah, I set it with this. So after you put your concealer on, and this is good. Like, I mean, you don't, obviously don't have to just do under your eye. You can do your whole face, because some people don't like to shine as much as me. And the tinted face oil can get a little dewy, like extra dewy. So it's just good to like, take down the shine. It's a very thin line between dewy and greasy. I like to straddle the line, but I don't like to cross it. Like, ooh, we're hugging the line, but we don't want to go over the line. Mm, Straddle. That's me straddling the line. That's not me jumping over the line. Okay. So that's gonna give you just a little a little extra pick me up. And you can use this all over. You can use it under your eye. You can use it. I definitely used it down here to set my concealer or to set my stitch down below. Um, whew, I dropped it yesterday, and so I'm trying not to. I'm trying not to make it fall out, but that's why I'm holding it like a precious baby. But yeah, I really like. I didn't know. I'm not really a powder girl. Powders can be hit or miss for me because, like I said, I like to straddle that dewy line. It's like, I mean, powders really aren't your friend when you want to keep it dewy. Let's call a thing a thing. But this is bomb. I really like this powder. And again, it comes in an array of shades. It's super soft. Do you see how that glides? Like, it's not cake. Like, no cake here. It's called baking powder, but there's no cake here. Sorry for the apparent emergency happening outside of my home. So, yeah, I mean, you can't even tell where I put that at. How many pressed powders do you know can do that?